And boys and girls
be friends.
be friends. Is it possible to have a friendship just platonic between a male and a female?
I am more interested in the effect that it has on your mental health.
Welcome back, guys. Welcome to the Safe
Lounge.
This is Caroline and I'm with
Nyasha Marilyn.
We're happy to have you back. And we just want to do a shout out to everyone who's been supporting us.
Woo, woo. Thank you, guys. We appreciate you. We feel the love.
Yeah. Thank you for rocking with us. The people who have been commenting in the comment section.
We see you. Special mention, Lenient, Bati, Bela, our director, for the support. On our socials, people following us.
Yeah, thank you, guys. We appreciate the love.
Yes, and on social media, special shout out to Cynthia. I saw you, girl. You were the first person to follow us on Instagram. I appreciate the love. Thank you so much.
And I think that's a good, what do they say? Segue.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you can say
to transition into what we are talking about. Thank you for being a friend. And today we are talking about
friendships. And we're going to be talking about friendships and mental health and the impact that it has on our
mental wellness.
Yeah, that's right. Let's get into it. So, Caroline, what's a friendship to you? Like, what makes you call someone a friend?
A friend is just somebody who's just there for you, a companion, someone you share similar interests with. They're just there to do life with you.
What I found interesting is that, like, you never really can tell when the friendship actually started. Like, for most people, it grows gradually in such a way that you can't pinpoint, like, okay, this is when I became friends with this person. You might know the year or the season, but then you can't really pinpoint. Like,
I don't know.
Things like that.
I've never heard of it.
But then I think it mainly comes from that fact that it's quite difficult to pinpoint, like to say, like, for example, I started dating this person on the 7th of January. You can't say I became friends with this person on the 7th of January.
My favorite author is C.S. Lewis, and he says about friendship that you become friends with a person the time that you say, like, someone mentions something and then you say, you too, me too. I feel the same way.
Or, you know, like that, the you too moment.
When you have similar interests or you can identify with someone.
Or similar problems.
Problems bring people together.
Yeah. Misery loves company, right? That's what they say.
That's true.
That's true. Anyway, so when it comes to friendships, right, why do they matter, especially when it comes to, like, your mental health and everything? Why do you think friendships matter?
Friendships matter. I think they're important because, like we said, it's a matter of doing life with some people. So when you're down, they are there with you, to encourage you, to support you. Like, I had a friend, talking about friends, crazy. They will do some of the craziest things to support you. I liked a guy. I had a crush on a guy. Now, this guy liked very complex things. So we found out what he liked to listen to, like his favorite books and so we went and we looked for videos of this guy. They were long. They were like about 6 hours. And they were very complex and difficult to understand. My friend sat with me. She's like, friend, when you meet this guy next, you need to be able to sound intelligent and have something to...
Oh my God.
The whole time she sat with me. That's friendship.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about. And then on the other side of friendship, like this is a positive friendship. This is a good friendship, right? But then also, have you had the opposite? like a bad friendship? Or have you ever had a friendship breakup?
Yeah, man. I think that's the other thing. Friendships some have seasons. Like you have friends that take you through certain seasons and then the friendship ends. Some have been going on for years. Like some people are privileged to have friendships that have lasted, they will say we're friends since we were in kindergarten, or we just grew up together and we're friends.
Yeah.
And for some people, there's a person who is, friends with you. You meet over something, like you meet in college, right?
Yeah.
And then you continue through college, and sometimes it ends like most friendships from high school. Sometimes you transition to go to college,
Yeah, when you
and
go
they
to college.
end. Yeah.
But you know what? I think friendships need a lot of research. Not research. That's not the word
What
that
do you
I'm
mean
looking
research?
for. Sorry. I think friendships need a lot of commitment. Like they need you to be committed to the friendship, and you need to put in a lot more effort than you would with any other relationship.
Yeah, yeah. Like
Because with family, you're born into it.
For
They're your
sure,
siblings.
for sure.
You can't, and you're gonna die.
and you
with
have
them.
no choice.
You have no choice. They will still remain your sibling. But when it comes to friends, if you don't put effort into it, if you don't nurture it, it will die.
Like that's the relationship that has the least amount of connection. So like you're saying with family, you're born with it. You're naturally connected by blood, right? With certain things, you're naturally, like there's a connection that is there but with friendship, it's voluntary.
It's voluntary.
Yeah.
You choose your friends. Although, you know what? I know they say you choose your friends, right? But then maybe it's what you said, like it's that, you two moment or you share similar interests. But I don't necessarily feel like I have selected my friends, like I've handpicked my friends as it would entail.
Like you see someone, you see that you like these particular qualities in that person, and you're like, I'm going to ask them to be my friend.
Imagine, like,
but there's instances, I think, where that happens.
Have you ever done that?
I don't think I would do that.
If someone was to come up to you and say, Caroline,
can we be friends?
Can we be friends?
Yeah, I would be open to it.
Ooh, for me, that would be
awkward.
It would be awkward. It would be too much. I'm not gonna lie. Like, because I don't know, like, and it's not necessarily because of them. I would actually applaud their confidence. But then when it comes to me now, it's like, I don't know, I would feel some type of way. I guess those are my issues, right? Like my insecurities coming out. Like I feel like, am I gonna measure up to what this person is expecting? Because they must have seen something to come to me and be like, "Can I be your friend?" Because it's like when a guy is asking you out, right? There's that thing that's like, am I gonna measure up to this person? So imagine if it's now a friend, someone who wants to be a friend and is like, "Can I be your friend?"
Do you think that it won't come naturally, like it will be forced?
Exactly, because in my head now, I will not be myself. I would try and portray what I think they liked about me before they came to me to be my friend. I don't know if it makes sense.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
It makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, so yeah, I don't think I'll be comfortable if someone's going to ask me out to be their friend.
No, but we should be open-minded.
I mean, like, I think there is what people
like,
do on social media now.
So
like,
for
oh my
example,
God, I like her. Like, she's cool. Like, can you be my friend? Like, that type. That's fine. But then, like, proper.
I think, like, if we're really open to it, right? Like, the initial phase of a relationship where people are trying to portray the best part of themselves, maybe it could go through that phase, where you're trying to portray a certain image. And then you realize this person is actually quite chill.
But now I want to live up to that reputation. I don't want them to be like, like, oh my God, she's not all that. Like, have you ever had those crushes? Like, you remember when people say, you used to joke around saying that you never date your crush because you'll be disappointed. I feel like that's the pressure that I would have. Because now I'm thinking, like, what did they see in me to want to be my friend like that?
I don't know, guys. What do you think? Should people be open to it? Let us know in the comments.
Yeah, like, and how would you feel if I was going to walk up to you and be like, can you be my friend? Anyway, we diverge, but yeah, it was important, right, that we explain
What friendships is.
friendships
And I
are.
think you had asked me, to your question, you had asked me when, like, if I have ever had a friendship being
breakup.
terminated, breakup.
Terminated, that's a strong word.
But it was. To be honest, it was. So, like, for some friendships, like, it just dies naturally.
Yeah.
And you both just naturally accept that, it is
We're
what it
done.
is.
Yeah.
That there's nothing else that is holding us together. But in this particular instance, right, like, I was best friends with this person. We would do everything together. Everything. And then one day in class, we're supposed to, I think it was an experiment or something, a project that were meant to be in pairs. So naturally, I'm thinking, we're going to do this together. And then I go and ask, so how are we doing this? And then she's like, actually, I'm not going to be doing this with you.
Ouch.
Ouch. Like, we spoke about heartbreaks. This is a certain type of heartbreak as well.
It does. Like, and I was telling you about the friends that have ghosted me. Remember when I was even showing you, like, some of our chats, and I'm like, I don't know what happened. Like it's literally like someone just ghosts you. And I think for me that would count as a friendship breakup.
You were thinking, what happened?
Like, what did I do? Like, and now I don't think I am such a good friend because of that. Because it did not happen to me once. Like, I think I've told you about 3 so far. And these are people that were, like, really close to me. Don't try and remember them. I will remind you later.
But then I think that begs the question, right? What is a good friend? What makes a good friend?
We think we are good friends. Like, I used to think I was a good friend. I actually used to brag about it because I hadn't had any friendship breakup, I think, up until after uni. Because this is like now in my adulthood, right? Where I'm like, oh my God, I'm not friends with this person anymore. I used to think I was a good friend because my friends just would stick around. Then I realized that maybe they're good friends, but I'm not a good friend. So I don't know. Like, what do you think is a good friend?
I think, like who was saying that friendship takes commitment, right? So if you're reciprocal, right, it's not just a one way of just
Give.
taking. You're also giving. Whether it's time, whether you're investing in the friendship.
Yeah.
And I don't. Okay, now this one, we have a friend who, I'm getting emotional.
I know, but I explained to you that friend is like me. So like,
guys, what do you think? You have a friend who like they are friendships, right? Where you invest in the relationship time-wise, right? So is it a friendship where you speak to a person once and then you go for like months? In fact, they send you messages and you do not respond. And then when you feel like talking, you then
respond.
reach out. Is that friendship?
I'm learning. Okay, I am that friend, right? But then I am learning. And when we were researching about this particular episode, I realized that you're not being a good friend. We understand we have busy schedules and everything, right? But then if we are fostering each and every other relationship, like you try and maintain some sort of relationship with your boss, with everyone else around you, right? Even with people from church, if you go to church, you're trying to maintain those relationships. But then if you can't then stay in touch with your friends,
I think
Yeah,
our,
like
our
it-
priorities are misguided, really, because
exactly, yeah.
I know work puts food on the table, but whenever people talk about someone dying, it's the moments that they have had either with their families or people who are really close to them.
Yeah,
with
that's when
friends.
they show up,
Yeah.
and especially for people in the diaspora, for example, you need your friends because very few people have like family, or you might have one family member in the same country with you, but then you don't have the whole unit.
Friends become family.
But friends become family. And if you're not investing in those relationships, then I guess we are all taking each other for granted, I would say.
Yeah, and there was some research that we're reading that was saying it's like later on in adulthood, friends, that relationship is actually stronger than with family members.
Yeah.
And I think
You
it's
spend
true
so
even
much
in
time.
my life.
Yeah, like you spend so much time with those people, and
they know with close friends, they know the intricate details about your life that you aren't comfortable sharing with your family sometimes.
Can I be honest? Can I go
Yeah.
confess? You know what? When I found out that, right? I think I've realized it now later on in life as well. So I actually believe it to be true. When I was younger, I've told you about this, right? I used to feel like not having a sibling, especially the one that you're growing up with, or like one that you have in the house all the time. I used to feel jealous of people with siblings, right? And then eventually we started staying with my friend. And now that I'm grown, it makes more sense. I'm like, this person is actually really close to me. She's like my sister now. But she was a friend before, right? And I still felt left out, or I still felt like I was missing something. But now when we are all grown up and I'm realizing that everyone actually relies on their friends more often.
You feel like you're a part of us.
Exactly. I'm like, okay, so I belong. Like I'm part of the gang. And yeah, I appreciate adult friendships more. And I'm also grateful, like when it comes to positive friendships, I'm grateful for the friends that I've had, because most of them have been my friends for years.
You're really good at keeping connections.
I'm like, wow, like, you know, when I think of the people that I call my friends now, right? Majority of them have been my friends for the longest. And even the friendships that I've formed here in this country, right? There are people that I started talking to like a year or two after I came to UAE, and they're still my friends, which is good. And I appreciate you guys.
We love you.
Telling your friend that well, I love you is a deep one, right? Like,
how often do you tell your friends that I love you?
Batsy, I tell her because she started it.
Okay.
Like, she's like that.
Okay.
You know her. But then, have I ever told you I love you?
It doesn't come easy.
No, that's a difficult one. Like telling your friends I love you.
No,
Like, but they know.
It's a thing that we need to learn to do.
Okay, yeah. I guess it's uncomfortable, but we have to learn.
We have to learn. We have to learn.
Remember when I was telling you about the hug thing? Like if you're crying, I'm gonna be awkward. Like I won't even like I'm like yeah like I think it's okay.
But you know what I have realized, especially for people who are not in relationships, do you know you can go for the longest time without getting some form of physical affirmation from a person? And things like hugs or holding hands, psychologically, they do something to you. They are
that's
affirming. They,
true.
they increase good hormones in your body. So I remember during COVID, it was a thing where people would go on social media and start crying because they just want
Need
someone to
hug
hug
them.
them.
Yeah, yeah.
And so when it comes to friendship, sometimes we take it, we just
We do.
disregard it and think
But
we
I've
don't
been
place
intentional.
importance
Now
in it.
I've been intentional. Like when I meet my friend after not seeing them for some time, I am now trying. But then I have to remind myself that I need to hug this person.
We are
Yeah.
learning, guys.
Yeah, we're learning. We're learning
Work
to
in
be more
progress.
affectionate and all the other things that come with it.
Yeah.
And
Or talking about positive things that happen in friendships.
okay.
There's a study done in the 70s by a guy called Bruce Alexander.
Okay.
But this is with rats, right? So the experiment was that there was a rat that was placed in an environment where it could drink water. It had two options. One with water that was just water and one with water that had drugs.
Okay.
But because it was alone, it kept getting water from the one that had drugs.
Okay.
And it would keep going there until it was addicted to the point of death.
Oh no. Okay.
And then they placed rats with other rats in the same environment. And they were less likely. In fact, they didn't drink from the container with drugs. If they did so intermittently here and there, but they never got addicted.
Wow, that's interesting. Oh, wow. So yeah, but that would make sense because I think like all addictions, even being addicted to your phone, for example, it comes from a place of loneliness, right? Like you have nothing to do, you have no one to talk to, so you're going to resort to being on your phone the whole time. Addiction to drugs, alcohol, yeah.
But I think that also brings a different dynamic to it when you talk about social media and friendships. Like, do people you have met online,
Yeah.
do they qualify as friends or, and the people, I know it helps with people like that you met physically with to keep that connection. But people you've just met online, do people actually become friends like that for real? For real?
I think for a season, because what I noticed is that, like, let's say, for example, you're pregnant and you try to go on social media and hear from other pregnant moms or something like that, right? You might find someone that you actually like and you start following them and maybe you interact and you're like, okay, yeah, like you become
it
social
becomes
media
more seasonal.
friends.
You remember when I don't know if you guys ever went through that phase where we used to have pen pals.
Oh yeah, ish. Okay, no, don't tell people our ages, man. Like, why are you doing that? Yeah, I remember that phase. But then, yeah, it becomes more like a pen pal type of thing. And then, after some time, it's like
It phases out.
it phases out naturally. Unless you're gonna then, if you're in the same city and then you start scheduling again, you need to put effort if you want that relationship to grow. If you want that friendship to develop into something else, then you need to be intentional about it.
An interesting one is I think this one would actually need a different episode altogether.
Okay.
Can boys and girls
Be friends.
Is it possible to have a friendship just platonic between a male and a female?
I am more interested in the effect that it has on your mental health. Because yes, we might take it lightly, and yes, okay, let's leave that one for the next episode or for an episode in the future. But yeah, it's an interesting thing to discuss actually. Can boys and girls be friends, and how does that affect you mentally in terms of wellness? Because I have a lot to say when it comes to that.
I also have a lot to say.
And with that, how can you then, okay, we have, so the benefits are emotional well-being. You need your friends to be around so that you are emotionally well. The support,
Yeah.
that sense of belonging, the one that I mentioned, like especially for people that are only child or things like that, like it gives
But
you a sense
even
of belonging.
but even it boosts your self-esteem.
Oh yeah, there's that.
Like
It's true.
you think of not just in adulthood. Okay, let's say in adulthood, right? When you're thinking of starting something and then you tell your friends, they will motivate you.
Oh,
You
yeah.
get a certain level of encouragement and it boosts your self-confidence that I can do this.
If you have good friends, that is.
Yes, the power of positive friendships.
Positive friendships. That's what we're talking about. And how can you make sure that how can you form these friendships, and how can you make sure that you do have, at the end of the day, because there are people that are really lonely out there. There's someone who wants to have that type of friendship that we're talking about. How can they achieve that?
How can they achieve that, Nyasha? Since you said you don't want people coming up to you and saying, "Can we be friends?"
I think when you find someone that you have a lot of things in common with, try and maybe follow them on social media. That's a first start, right? You meet someone, you like them, they're good vibes, follow them on social media. When you meet them, show interest in them such that they also and you can see how someone is reciprocating the energy, right? And if the energy is right, go ahead.
And a good way would be, since you notice that you have things in common, you could start talking about the things that you have in common.
Yeah.
And then take it from there.
And if you do have friends, but they're still all casual friends or childhood friends and things like that, try and nurture those relationships to grow.
It's important.
Yes, and one for my friend is be vulnerable with your friends. We were reading this, and it keeps popping up that for the friendship to grow, for the
Yeah.
trust to grow, we have to be vulnerable.
And I remember we need to wrap up, but I remember we're having the conversation where we were saying, if I'm your friend and you're going through something and you don't tell me, it feels a certain type of way that you don't trust me, you don't think I can handle going through that with you.
Why did you not tell me this? It makes you feel some type of way. It would make me feel like, oh my God, so am I a bad friend? Like what I was saying, all my friends who ghosted me, and you know yourselves, guys, all my friends who ghosted me, they were probably going through something, right? And I later found out that they were really going through something. But then, in as much as they were hurting, and I sympathize with how they were feeling, at the same time it also hurt me. It was oh my God, I thought you were my friend. I thought I was there for you like that. Why couldn't you trust me with this? So yeah, I think for friendships to grow, there has to be a level of vulnerability and trusting your friend.
What do you say of a friend who does that? Who, when they're going through something, they will distance themselves. And then once that thing is over, then they will come back and then tell you what that was about.
I'm a casual friend. I'm not your friend. I'm not your close friend. Even if it's by nature, right? When you feel safe, the child in you comes out, and children just blurt out how they're feeling. So the fact that you really don't feel safe, it says something. It says something about me as your friend, and also about you and how you feel about the friendship. So yeah, I think, we're learning, of course. We can't be perfect friends.
Yeah.
But yeah, there has to be vulnerability somewhere in there.
As hard as it is, guys, for some of us to let it out.
Yeah. And this one is a painful one for me because I've been talking about friendship breakups as well, right? But you need to cut off the toxic ones because sometimes it's the dead weight that's pulling you down and you can't form meaningful friendships because you have a lot of toxic ones surrounding you, or
But
a
what
lot
is-
of like people that you already know that this person cannot be my friend. I don't like them like that. We don't share the same values, things like that. And then you just keep them around, but they're taking time from you, time which you could invest in
something
other
else, in
friendships
other
that would be
positive
more meaningful.
relationships. Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, guys, thank you so much. It's been interesting, and we'll see you guys in the next one, which will be coming in very, very soon. We're going to try and be more consistent, definitely.
For sure. Thank you so much for joining us. And please like, share, and subscribe.
Yes, and I want to give a special shout out to everyone who has made it to the end of the video. I'm sure you noticed my voice is sounding a bit weird. It's because I have a flu, but I didn't want to mention it in the beginning. I just wanted to see how many of you are actually loyal and actually enjoy our content. Next week, I'll be feeling better. I promise. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.